Welcome to 100 Stories for My Daughter. Here you'll find short and inspiring stories for children and adults about love, dreams, and believing in yourself. Each story is a small gift for the soul. Listen, share, and be inspired. In a grand kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and glistening rivers, Princess Aurora prepared to celebrate her 16th birthday. The castle buzzed with excitement. Musicians tuned their instruments, chefs prepared feasts, and the courtyard overflowed with flowers. Aurora, however, felt restless. Her life was a series of routines, safe, predictable, and unchanging. Though she loved her family and her home, she often wondered what lay beyond the castle walls. During the celebration, her parents presented her with a golden locket engraved with her family crest. "You are our greatest treasure," her mother said, her voice warm with affection. Aurora smiled, but a whisper of unease tickled her heart. The locket, like her life, felt like a beautiful cage. Later, seeking solitude, Aurora wandered the castle until she found a narrow staircase spiraling up into a forgotten tower. At the top, she discovered a room bathed in dim light. In its center stood an old spinning wheel, gleaming faintly. Curiosity drew her closer. She reached out to touch the spindle, and a sharp prick stung her fingertip. The room blurred, and Aurora's legs gave way. She fell into a soft, golden light as the world around her faded. When Aurora opened her eyes, she was no longer in the tower. She stood in a luminous forest where the air shimmered like sunlight on water. The trees whispered her name, their leaves rustling in a language she couldn't quite understand. "Where am I?" she asked aloud, her voice trembling. A figure stepped out of the mist, Maleficent, the sorceress who had cursed her at birth. Aurora expected malice, but instead, Maleficent's expression was calm, almost compassionate. "You are in the dreaming realm," Maleficent said. "This is where you'll face what you fear most. Only then will you awaken." Aurora frowned. "Why are you helping me?" Maleficent's lips curved into a faint smile. "I am not your enemy, child. Change is inevitable, and I am its messenger. The question is, will you run from it or rise to meet it?" Before Aurora could reply, Maleficent vanished, leaving her alone in the glimmering woods. Aurora wandered the forest until she came upon a towering labyrinth made of shimmering hedges. The entrance glowed faintly, as though daring her to step inside. With a deep breath, Aurora entered. The air grew cooler, and the walls shifted, creating new paths and closing others. Every time she hesitated, the maze became more complex. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the labyrinth, her own voice, but filled with doubt. "You'll never find your way out," it sneered. "You're too afraid, too small." Aurora's knees wobbled, but she clenched her fists. "That's not true," she whispered. The walls responded, parting to reveal a path forward. Aurora realized the maze mirrored her fears. Only by confronting them could she progress. Step by step, she walked deeper into the labyrinth, her determination growing with each turn. At the maze's heart, Aurora encountered a dark figure, a shadowy version of herself with glowing eyes and a voice like thunder. "Who are you?" Aurora demanded, though her heart pounded with fear. "I am your doubt," the shadow replied. "I am the voice that says you're not enough, that you'll fail, if you try. The shadow loomed closer, its presence suffocating. Aurora's hands trembled, but she remembered the shifting walls of the labyrinth. She had moved forward by confronting her fears, not retreating from them. "I am enough," she said, her voice steady despite her fear, "and I won't let you control me." The shadow hesitated, its form wavering. Aurora stepped forward, her courage shining like a beacon. The shadow dissolved, leaving only light in its place. Aurora emerged from the labyrinth to find a wide river blocking her path. The water sparkled, showing reflections of her life, moments of joy, moments of sadness, and moments of uncertainty. Maleficent reappeared on the opposite shore. "This is the river of change," she said. "To cross it, you must leave behind what you know and trust in what lies ahead." Aurora hesitated. The current looked strong, and the water was deep. "What if I lose myself in the crossing?" "You won't lose yourself," Maleficent replied. "You'll discover who you are meant to be." Aurora knelt at the river's edge, her reflection rippling. She stepped into the water, the chill shocking but invigorating. The current pushed against her, but she pressed forward, her determination unyielding. When she reached the other side, her heart felt lighter, her mind clearer. Aurora found herself in a clearing bathed in golden light. At its center stood a figure, herself, but stronger, with an aura of calm confidence. "Who are you?" Aurora asked. "I am the you who has faced her fears," the figure replied. "The you who has embraced change." Aurora reached out, their hands meeting. A warm light enveloped her, and the forest dissolved into brightness. When she opened her eyes, she was back in the tower. Aurora descended the tower, her steps steady and her heart unburdened. Her parents rushed to her side, their relief palpable. "You've changed," her mother said, noticing the quiet strength in Aurora's gaze. Aurora smiled. "I've learned that change isn't something to fear. It's what helps us grow." In the days that followed, Aurora took an active role in the kingdom, suggesting new ideas and listening to her people. She no longer avoided challenges, but welcomed them as opportunities to learn and lead. When the young prince who had searched for her arrived, Aurora greeted him warmly. "Thank you for caring," she said, "but I've learned to save myself." The prince smiled. "Then perhaps we can walk this path together as equals." Aurora agreed, knowing her strength came not from being rescued, but from embracing the journey of change.